All right. Mookie Betts signed a 1-year contract with the Dodgers.
That shit gonna be voided out, fam.
So it's voided, right?
No season. He ain't never got to play.
So I know. So what I'm saying is they don't go like, okay, since there's no season, it starts the following year.
Because it's just for this 1 year.
Oh,
That's
that's
how I think that's how contracts.
Yeah,
is
my dad was telling me he's going back to Boston next year. I'm like, he just fucking collected how much?
Nah, but they don't get all that though.
But they have a guaranteed in there.
Right. It's just okay. You're right.
But still,
but
you
most of that
guaranteed how
money-
much?
Most of that money they trying to get it back because the television contracts. You get what I'm saying? Like that revenue that they're not receiving. So, because that's what the NBA was on about certain players not getting paid and stuff because it wasn't in their contract. So, yeah. Would you be sad if he didn't play?
Yeah, because, dude.
You need him?
We don't need him, but I'm not going to say.
Oh, you guys are that good, huh?
We made it twice without him. But I'm looking right here. Red Sox and Betts agreed to an arbitration record $27 million contract.
1 year, $27 million?
That's what I'm saying, for not even playing.
But is he that good?
Yeah.
I mean, do you listen to Bill Simmons at all?
No.
Bill Simmons was sick that they didn't resign him. But
they are, dude.
Is he that good? No, they said
they offered him a
best
huge contract, and he was like, "Nah, I want more." And they're like, "Fuck off."
Well, what is more? Like north of $300 million?
Yeah, he was already north of 300, I think. And he was like,
didn't
"Nah."
Somebody get 330?
Yeah, Bryce Harper.
Nah, his wasn't even the biggest. Whose was the biggest?
Mike Trout,
What was that?
$430 million.
No. You for real?
I swear to God.
Bro, I thought the biggest was 325.
No, watch.
430?
Mike Trout.
To do what? Not make the playoffs?
Yeah, on the shitty ass fucking Angels. They're gonna make it this year. They fucking pulled, or not this year, but
2021.
See, I don't know now because I don't know if they're gonna keep those dudes. But they got Rendon from the Nats. They got a couple pitchers.
Nasty.
They actually made some moves. So, but look right here. 12-year, $430 million deal.
Oh my goodness! When did he sign that?
Last year.
Oh, I did not know it was that big. So
and then Harper got a $330 million.
But he got the same amount of years though, right?
No, I think it was 10.
I mean, it still don't come close though. The yearly average is more for Trout, right?
Bryce Harper contract, 13-year, $330. It's 1 year more.
1 year more, but like
for $330 million
less.
Yeah, but you gonna complain about $330?
No, absolutely not. I'm about to sign that right now.
Then stupid ass Manny Machado's trash ass. He got $300 million.
Where did he come from?
He was on the Orioles, then he went to the Dodgers during the trade, and then we made the World Series.
Is that
run.
the guy that they were booing all last year?
Yeah.
He was in the slump, wasn't he?
He's not like he's a beast third baseman. Beast.
He just couldn't hit last year or whatever. Wasn't that him that was in the slump?
Yeah.
So what was going on? He just didn't want to be there?
Dude, he's full of himself, bro.
But I heard that team is trash, though. That team is
Yeah, he literally, that's the type of person he is. He took the money to go to the sorry-ass Padres, who are so bad they'll never
Padres be killing it for a little bit, and then they just, fall.
Well, that's the thing about baseball. It's 8 months long. You can kill it for a month. That don't mean nothing.
They was killing it for about 2.5, 3 months.
You know?
Because aren't they in the same division as the Dodgers
Yeah,
and
but
the
they got,
Giants?
They got fourth in that division.
Who else? Is it the Mariners?
No. It's the Dodgers, Giants, D-backs.
D-backs, there you go.
Padres, and then the
D-backs are nice.
Who's the Rockies?
Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
Everybody be hitting home runs in that stadium.
Well, yeah, it's like a
What
mile.
Is it?
It's the
air?
The air, yeah.
That's
you know how
crazy.
when we were in Utah and we were 6,000 feet up.
Yeah.
And the air's lighter.
There's a little less, right?
It's thinner, yeah. The ball travels farther.
I seen that. It was this is if you want to hit home runs here, come here.
That's why in LA it's harder to hit home runs because of the dense air, like the ocean air.
I heard it'd be pushing the ball back though.
It's just heavier. You have to hit it harder.
That makes sense.
That's why Barry Bonds hitting it into the bay.
It was amazing.
Because that's not a home run. That's not a home run.
What they call it?
Stadium.
McCovey Cove.
Yeah,
shots,
McCovey Cove. Yeah. I think that's what it's called, McCovey Cove. Yeah.
Yeah. They had a McCovey Cove tracker though, bro. That's amazing.
Dude, baseball's where it's at, bro. That's where the money's at.
Yeah, but how would you feel about not being able to go to a game? Because you've been going to games, right?
Dude,
the past 2 years.
I had opening day off, March 26th. It was a Thursday.
You and your dad was going, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you invited me to?
Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, cause I invited a couple people. I just let people know, like, because I wanted to go.
Yeah.
They were playing the Giants, and then I was going to go the following weekend. They were playing again in San Francisco. I was going to go to those
Why do you like
games.
going to those games?
They're rivalries, bro.
For the obvious reasons. But do you feel that animosity?
What do you mean?
Like, do you feel that tension in the stadium?
Yeah, dude.
In the
it's
parking
there,
lot?
bro. Not in the parking lot. Like, nah.
It's
but,
not as bad.
But when you're there, dude, well, not really last year because the Giants were terrible.
So it wasn't as
But
fun.
if they're both good, making a run for it, oh, boy. It gets heated. You can feel it in the stadium, bro.
This is dark, but didn't someone die like 3 years ago?
Yeah, so they're I think they killed a Giants or Dodger fan out there, and then them essays down south at a Giants Dodger game, they fucking shanked one of the Giants dudes
in the stadium or outside?
in the parking lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like it ain't funny, but it's like, dude.
So
like,
so who's the Cowboys rivals? Is the Eagles?
yeah, dude. So
which I was asking that question to go. Which rivalry is more tense or hated?
that Dodgers Giants.
Nothing compares to it.
Well, there ain't nothing like there's nothing like Duke North Carolina rivalry.
I agree, and UNC all day, UNC all day, bruh.
Which is so cool
when
though.
you text me like, dude, and I was
Did you watch that shit?
Well, we were up, and so I started driving to work,
destroying
so I was
us.
watching on the app, and I seen how much we were up, and I seen what time it was. I was like, I'm gonna just focus on driving. So I
Right.
was like, and then you text me, I was like, nah, we got this. And I was like, he lying. I look overtime.
So it was my cousin Tracer's birthday that day. We went out to eat and we were drinking and stuff, and we were at this little sports bar, and he's like, "Oh, look, they got the Duke game on." I turned around, 42-20. I was like, I just turned back around like, fuck that.
Thought
dude.
it was over, right?
Yeah, but then I went home and my dad wasn't watching the game. I looked up the score. I'm like, dude.
Turn it on.
He's like, I know. But he don't like watching the game. He won't watch it. He'll just watch it on his like the.
So does he do that for the Cowboys too?
Not as much
He'll watch it.
Because I want to watch it. I'm like, dude, put the game on, dude. I'm trying to watch.
Did you tell me if
he stresses too hard, he won't watch it.
Did you tell me if they were in the Super Bowl, he wouldn't watch it?
Yeah.
I thought I heard you say that too.
Yeah, or no, or like if Duke was in the March Madness, like the championship game,
he wouldn't watch.
Like he probably wouldn't watch it.
That's
He'd be
crazy.
that stressed out. Like he would not want to watch that shit.
That's nuts.
I'm like, dude, just fucking watch it, bro. But anyway, we were sitting there, dude. Trey Jones, bro. Oh my god,
brought him back
twice.
Like, I don't understand how he got the rebound. Like,
it wasn't supposed to happen,
like,
bro.
How did you get the rebound?
But North Carolina was sorry this last year. They were not supposed to be in that game.
I told Wheat. I said when was the point guard?
Who on UNC?
Anthony. What was it?
Oh boy, with
Cole Anthony
with the dreads or the braids.
When he went out, I was like, we're done. I told him because we had lost to some team, and I was like, UNC will be lucky. I said we, like I went there. I said we'll be lucky if we get invited to the NIT. Like we wasn't an NIT team, and then when we went on that losing streak, that was it. And to see them lose to Duke like that, it was like, bro, this in the season, bro. This
well, who's that doofus with the dreads up forward like that? Like,
I don't know. I didn't. This was one of the teams where I didn't pay attention to it. Like this is how I knew that the game wasn't even special. Did you see the jerseys? What was it, the 100th anniversary or something like that?
They just wore the regular jerseys, didn't they?
Those are like practice jerseys. Don't disrespect that rivalry like that. Like they should have.
Bro, Michael Jordan wasn't making no custom jerseys for these fucking scrubs, boy.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
He's like, hell no.
You're right. He wasn't even.
Y'all 5 and you guys were 8 and 13 in the conference or something.
I think we lost 7 straight games twice. 7 straight games in a row.
That's terrible.
Twice.
That's terrible for UNC.
Yeah.
Like
and nobody was like, oh no, they'll be all right. No, we were like Boston College. Sorry.
Well, tell Roy Williams to get the hell on out of there already.
Nah, man, we'll be all right.
He never got nothing on Coach K, boy. Kobe Bryant didn't call up Roy Williams. Who'd he call?
But Roy Williams wasn't even. You right. I got nothing to say. Coach K.
I know.
He's a G though.
I never use that because that's just a given. That's too easy, you know.
Nah, but I mean, I think Roy. Obviously, Coach K is older though, right?
I don't know. They look like they're both about to die, honestly.
Bro,
they old as shit.
Yeah. He just had hip surgery? Coach K?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he had hip surgery.
Dude, honestly, I don't follow like during
Sports?
the season. I don't follow it that heavy.
I do, just
Like
because
the NBA or the
NCAA?
college basketball. Yeah.
Well, I follow it for obvious reasons.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
What's the obvious reason?
if it's money to be made, it's money to be made.
Oh yeah, you gamble like boy. Hey, I want to be doing no gambling once Las Vegas open back up. They're gonna get that money back they've been losing.
Bruh,
They're gonna make them slots tight.
Search it real quick. How much Vegas would lose for 8 weeks? I think it was like, I don't want to say a number, but those casinos is losing a lot just for if they close for 8 weeks.
Oh, that's a fucking person.
Put Vegas, the virus closures.
Oh, yeah.
How much would Vegas lose or something? But it's a large number just from gambling alone. That's why Vegas was shut down. It was like,
You said closures?
yeah, put 8-week closure Vegas or casinos. But yeah, I had got that link from Darren Rovell.
Who's that?
He's a popular guy on Twitter, but he does like all the betting stuff.
Damn, I don't fucking know.
It's fine. It's just a large number about how much money, because they were saying the NCAA was gonna lose about, I think, $4 billion.
$4 billion?
Just from March Madness alone.
Did you see that they put like trillions of dollars into the stock market to like get it to come back up, and they lost it all in like days?
I didn't understand what it was doing though. Like I don't understand that process.
I don't either.
Like if the stock market is down, why would you put more money in just to boost it, but no one else is working?
Right.
So you gonna lose it like
anyway. Because
I didn't get it.
Because they thought that because like a week later they were like, oh, the stocks went up on like that Friday. They like shot up. But then like after that it just has been a constant decline. They didn't think.
I guess I would ask you, why would it shoot up? Don't stocks usually go down at the end of the week?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I paid attention to stocks a little bit, and it's like Monday, like Sunday evening, Monday morning is low, but then right around like 8 o'clock or 7 here, it starts to rise. Tuesday's good, Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday starts to decline because it's the end of the work week. That's
right.
how I learned. So I don't understand why it shut up Friday. But the stocks it's different. Like I don't really understand it. Obviously I don't have stocks, but
yeah, I don't have any clue.
Once
bro.
the NBA was like, we gotta postpone, I was like, bro, it's a wrap for the world.
They kind of was like the first domino, and after that, everything, just like they were the first to make. They made the first big decision as a corporation.
Yeah, I have a theory about that, but.
Well, let me start the podcast.
Go ahead, man. I have a theory about that.
Is this episode? Yeah, this is episode 10. Welcome to the MDP, episode 10, man. Double digits, finally. I don't have any merch today because I'm out of merch. Actually, we're going today to pick up some new hoodies, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure you guys keep subscribing, man. I appreciate that a lot. And we're just going to keep this shit rolling. But I just wanted to make sure to introduce the pod. And I got my boy X with me.
Thank you.
The first returning guest.
You know what I'm saying?
See, you feel better now?
Absolutely. It ain't within a month time frame, but I mean, I take it.
Yeah, dude, a month comes quick, bro.
It does.
Because
when I looked at it, I was like, oh, man, February's over. Wait, no. March is over.
Yeah.
So.
But I had a couple things because last podcast was kind of like just a funny one. Like we were just kind of like catching up because I haven't seen you forever. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people didn't really know what the fuck we was talking about.
At all.
But it's all good.
At all. We know what we talking about.
But I wanted to talk about something serious. Well, a little more serious that happened when we were there and kind of like in our friendship.
We were where?
When we were in Utah.
Okay.
It was when... Well, there was two major things. It was it happened that the whole Zimmerman case,
mm-hmm.
and then there was one in Missouri, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Who was that? what was
That
his?
was Michael Brown.
Okay, Michael Brown, and then the one in with Zimmerman was, who was that?
Florida.
Yeah,
that was Trayvon. Oh, you trying to Trayvon Martin?
Yeah, Trayvon Martin. Okay,
Yeah.
that was with like, and that was around that time. I didn't know that was kind of when the whole Black Lives Matter movement started, and
that's when I started paying attention to it too.
Right. I think a lot of people did. That was like, those two instances were like the big instances. But one thing I wanted to talk about was that those two situations, that kind of like stunted our friendship for a while. For a few months, actually. It was kind of weird.
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was a couple months. Like, where like we didn't really talk much. I didn't really talk to then the other two in the house I didn't really talk to. So it was kind of like this weird tension for like really nothing like that really personally happened, you know? And I remember we talked about it a little bit like through text, or I think on the phone, but we didn't really elaborate much on it. And I've like thought about it. That was like 3 years ago, but I've always thought about, because I always wanted to have that conversation with you, because you kind of brought it up how it was, and I was like, damn, it was, and I didn't know why there was tension.
Oh,
I didn't know why.
Well, not to cut you off, but
no, yeah, go ahead.
So that was kind of like a confusing time. And I think that's where it brought tension, because I didn't know how to give my perspective without feeling angry. Because that was the first case that I can remember, like, following, like, watching it on TV in my room, watching it on TV in the living room. And so, for one, being in Logan, that's a different experience in itself.
Right.
So that played a part. Because I remember when I first got to Logan, the first day I went to Walmart and, white people just, like, looking at me.
Right.
And I'm by myself, and I felt so uncomfortable. I just called somebody on the phone, like, just to talk to grocery shop.
And it was different for me as well. I mean, I have no comparison to how it was for you, but even for me, that's how different it was in Logan, Utah. Because even me, who wasn't from there, I was a white kid, but that was clearly not from there.
You can tell who don't belong. Like, let's just call it.
And I used to like call my buddies or something when I would shop, just to keep me like, it would make me feel comfortable.
And it's crazy too, because I don't know what cell phone service you have, but in that Walmart, I wouldn't get much service. So that's how desperate I was to just, you kind of got that anxiety. I got to leave, but it's like, I need to shop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So during that whole trial, when I would go to Walmart, I felt like an uneasiness. Like, not necessarily like someone's out to get me, but I didn't feel that love. Like, but it had nothing to do with me. Like, Trayvon, that it didn't directly affect me, but it indirectly affected me. And so I noticed I started shopping late at night, because at Walmart would stay open 24 hours. So I started shopping late at night because there wasn't no one in there, as many people in there. I can just kind of like be myself. But then it made me afraid as well, because I am out by myself.
Right.
So I think that was first, that I didn't feel safe. And I think there was tension in the house, because it's one of those, you don't know who to trust. Right. For whatever reason. Because, again, we were good up to that point. Yeah. Like,
it was, I don't, I do kind of remember the first time I felt it, the specific moment. I don't really want to talk about it, but, I mean, we could talk about it off.
When you came home from school?
No, I don't. There might have been a couple times, but there's one time that I don't want to speak on the camera or on mic, but
I don't remember. That's what I'm asking. Like, I generally don't remember. But that's how you felt, though.
That's when I realized, like, all right, like something was off, because I was younger. I was 19, 18.
Did I say something to you?
Not like. We'll talk about it. It's all good. But it was just that a certain instance happened where I was talking to you, and you had said something to me, and I realized, like, I felt the uneasiness. It took me a while to feel it. You know what I'm saying? But then after that, I just kind of like would keep my distance for a while. But I was like, I didn't understand why.
But did you feel threatened though?
I didn't feel threatened. I felt like I did something wrong. Like, it was my, like, what did I do wrong?
That makes sense.
You know?
I see what you're saying. But you didn't feel like, did you still feel safe in the house is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was, like, nervous to go home. It's just like,
that's important to me because again, you want to go home.
That's like my safe space.
Yeah, that's your safe space. So if you don't feel comfortable at home, it's like, well, where can I go? So
right, because no, I didn't feel that. What I felt was like I would come home, and if you guys are in the living room, I'd just kind of be like, "What's up?" and I would just go straight to my room.
I mean, it's kind of hard to feel your vibes because you constantly did that. I think what I would ask you though was, did you stop coming out your room and spending time with me?
For a while,
because
I gave you your space, like, cause I would come out and just like, "What's up, bro?" Like,
and then go back in there.
Or yeah, but like before I would just be like, "What's up?" And I'd sit down, we'd like watch basketball. I would just, whoever you're rooting for, I'd root for the other team just to like start some shit.
Right.
I'd stop doing that just kind of like for a while.
Was I that bad?
No, I don't. I just think I didn't know what to do, and I also didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand until later.
And that's another
and
thing.
And not only I wasn't as educated enough on all of that either.
But that's another thing about living in Logan. Like, we literally are in our own bubble.
Right. So that kind of sucked for me. I was going through my own personal issues, which is why a lot of days were like on and off depending on what was going on with me.
Right.
Then on top of that, our own bubble, it was kind of off in there too. So it really condensed down just to my room. And which is why I would binge watch so many Netflix shows, which I don't even do anymore because like I do other shit.
And if I can remember back, you wasn't even playing video games either.
No. I think there was a while where I wasn't doing anything.
So it's like, the stuff that I'm used to you doing, you wasn't doing. You wasn't really talking to your brother that much.
Yeah.
I don't know what relationship you were in at the time. If that person was coming over, it's just like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I wasn't in any during that time. It was just me.
So, were Ricky and Jake in the living room too, or were they in their room? I think they were in their room because there was a point where Coda would be out, but then at a certain point, it was just like, nah. Just
did we have Coda then? This happened like 2013,
was it 2013?
Beginning of 2014. That first year I was there.
So the first year we definitely had,
because the first few months was very social. Everyone was out. It was kind of cool. L. Yeah, and then we got L, and then
I think it did happen in 2014. The reason why I say that is because I remember it was springtime. It was like,
yeah. So it was like
it was like
sunny
outside.
Yeah, so it was like the beginning of 2014, like maybe March, April, May.
Yeah, like because the reason why I say that, I think it may have happened in 2013, but the case took place in 2014 because I remember it was summertime.
Yeah, it happened. It happened in 2013.
The trial happened in summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was just a weird. That was like a weird time for a while. Was that? And I just wanted to ask you, like, what were you like going through? Like, why do you think it was weird between like us specifically, you and me?
I think from a standpoint, again, I was confused because I'm looking at the situation. Obviously, you have facts. One person can only give their side of the story.
Right.
Even if their side of the story is false because they're trying not to go to prison for the rest of their life or, prison time, and another person can't tell their side of the story. So you have that. But then you kind of just look over the situation. Like, one person felt this person didn't belong in a neighborhood. And it's like, could that be me?
Right.
Could that be me and Logan? Like, I don't belong there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know I'm not from there. So you kind of have that. And then you look at it like, okay, Skittles in Arizona, like he was just going to the store. But then it's like, don't be by yourself. But again, I'm usually by myself.
Right.
And then it's like he was talking to somebody on the phone, and she hear those shots. And then for the authorities to tell him don't follow him, and then he don't listen to it, and then that happens. It's like, it's just an unfortunate situation. And then you kind of hear like, okay, if he did give chase, it's possible that he was getting his ass beat, and then he pulled out the weapon.
Right.
So then it's like,
there's a lot of missing pieces.
Yeah, just a lot of missing pieces. So in my mind, I'm trying to fill in those pieces, but I'm still trying to feel safe and secure. And one of the things, if I look back on it, we didn't talk about the actual case. It was almost one of those like, I know it's tension, but I'm not gonna ask you how you feeling or what's your thoughts. It's just sort of like, just let you be.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that was the disconnect between you and I, because there was times and situations where we talked about everything, But for that one reason or whatever, we didn't talk about the case or nothing. It was just like, well, what happened? Like, I don't know. Like,
that's what was so weird about it. It's like nothing did I do or did we get in an argument or anything where it was like, no, I don't fuck with him. No, we don't fuck with each other. It just was like,
it was just weird.
It was
I was in a space where it was like, honestly, it was like, I'm not fucking with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when you get in that mind state of, I can only trust myself, that's a dangerous mind state.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me of when you was going through your struggles. We talked about it, but you didn't really let me in. So I don't know what's all going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how your emotions are flowing. You know, depression hits. So I do recall us having tension simply because when the verdict was handed down, I just remember I was in a room and I was just like, how'd he get off?
Yeah, he got off.
Like, how'd he get off?
Yeah.
So I've had people go to prison and are currently still in prison for murders and kidnapping and things of that nature. So I know what it's like to have families smile at the verdict. So it's not a disrespect to you, but again, it's my life. I don't want to be in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like that situation could have been avoided if you would have just listened to instructions.
Right.
We all have instructions. Just listen. If he didn't do what he did, he would have made it home safely. So that was one of those where it was like, man, I don't really know who to trust.
Right.
And instead of just going to you and be like, hey, can I talk to you about something? Because it was plenty of times where we'd just be at the table, you eating your cereal or whatever, and I just come just sit down and we'd start talking.
Yeah.
But it was like that just stopped. And so it was like, why did it stop? I think it was just.
Because it got to a point where, like, I was like, oh, someone's out there. And then, like, wait till they go to the room. And then I go out and get my food. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's one of those.
Where it was, like, no communication at all.
None of us spoke. That again, it was like, that's why I asked you, was Ricky and Jake in the living room? Because there was a point in time where they'd just come home and go straight to the room. And never come out.
Never.
And then when they did come out, it was just to eat dinner.
And they eat, cook, and whatever, do dishes,
back into the
room.
Not 2.5 Men. What is that show? I can't think of the show. But anyway, they'll watch the show. Jake, take the dogs out, and then it was like, come right back in, they'll shower, and then just be in the room. Yeah. So it was like, the living room was just vacant. It was like a revolving door. You in the kitchen, you not in the kitchen, because at one point in time, we'd kind of be bumping shoulders just to be in the kitchen. You grab your bowl, I grab my plate, and none of that. It's just.
Or I grab the waffles, and you'd be like, those are mine. I'm like, huh? You like, you already ate yours. I was like, did I? I was like, yo, that's foul. You're like, go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
I felt bad,
just eat. But it was just different because didn't you buy a home style?
Yeah, but then you got me on the buttermilk, so I started buying the buttermilk.
Yeah. But it was just, we was grinding out. But yeah, that was just one of those, I didn't know who to trust.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to speak about it because I think if you do something wrong, you should do some time behind it. Like, you took a life.
Yeah.
Like, you took a life. Like, how do you go from possibly life in prison or 30-year sentence to like nothing?
Nothing.
Like, did he even get probation?
I don't think he got anything, bro.
And then like after, obviously this is after, but selling a gun, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You're kind of constantly doing stuff. So
I think that was the first. I mean, there's been a lot of things like that's happened, obviously, over the course of history. But for whatever reason, that specific case kind of really started a new chapter in America, where there was a real, I think, because it's going to get worse before it gets better type of idea. And there was a real divide there for a while. Like,
I think it's because it was a kid. It was a child. It was a teenager, I should say that. He was 16, I think. But it was just the fact that this grown man didn't follow instructions.
Right.
And he was just a private.
It was like a neighborhood watch.
Yeah, it was just neighborhood watch. So, again, if this is a proper neighborhood watch, to me, there should have been a better relationship between him and Trayvon's father to know that his son is in town.
Right.
Because that's generally how I was raised. When you have a neighbor, I mean, you see the signs posted neighborhood watch and stuff like that. You know each kid. So, you know what I'm saying? You probably know that neighbor. So, that's also a disconnect that we don't know each other anymore.
Right.
Like, we move in neighborhoods and just be like, I'm going to just stay over here, you stay over there, and we good. Like, there is no, hey,
there's no
There was no friendliness.
There's no like friendliness within the neighborhood.
Yep.
Like, hey neighbor,
Yeah.
like there ain't none of that shit no
like
more.
no more baked cookies.
Nah.
No more
Well, not
casserole
here.
dishes.
Not. I think not in here. I mean, and like.
But was that ever a thing? Did you?
No, but see, my grandparents when they moved to Tennessee, that's a slower lifestyle, more of a. Dude, they got
Slower
that.
pace.
They got that. Like the neighbors
but
came
that's the
over.
vibe, though. It's so friendly.
That's what I'm
down
saying.
There. It's so friendly down there.
So I think it just depends on where you're at. But like Florida is wild. California is wild.
And then
New York, you're just living on top of each other.
I think the thing was just the whole stand your ground law.
Yeah.
It ain't like Trayvon went over there and was whooping him. Like you follow him, and then how you manage to have the stay your ground law. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
you know what is crazy about those types of cases as well. Depending on the state you're in, is going to depend on what your sentence is as well.
Okay, so
like in Texas, you could do some wild shit and get off.
Well, I listened to a guy named Bomani Jones. Or Bomani Jones we don't do that type of foolishness.
Oh, I know.
Down here.
Yeah, I know.
Because
yeah.
we about that life. Like everybody got there, so you better relax.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
you could shoot a motherfucker if they're on your property, bro, for no reason.
No reason.
Here in California, could be robbing your TV and you shoot him while he's running out the house.
Well,
you're
not supposed to shoot somebody in the back though.
Well, Gucci Mane did. He got off. That was in Georgia.
Well, wasn't it a robbery though?
That's what I'm saying. They were robbing him, and he started dumping, and they ran off, and he hit him. But if you did that in California, your ass is going to jail, boy.
Quick sidebar. Do you believe Soulja Boy got robbed?
Dude, that whole story is fucking hilarious, bro. I think he did, but he exaggerated the fuck out
How
of
it happened? Okay.
He was trolling, bro.
I believe it. But there's also another case that happened in Florida. Her name isn't Michelle, but her husband, who was abusive, came in, and she had a restraining order against him, and she let off a warning shot in the garage, and she got like 10 years. And she tried to use the stand your ground law, and it didn't work. So the same woman or the same people that helped Zimmerman get off is the same people that put her in prison.
So that's just straight up corrupt.
So it's like,
corruption.
how does this stand your ground law work? So that's why Trayvon Martin.
I think it's case by case.
Correct.
It's not just a set law.
Correct. And she had kids too. That was the thing. It was like, you're gonna take this mother away from her kids, and go with this abusive man that the kids shouldn't be with. So again, the stand your ground law, it is case by case. So
do you think that all like the media and the way some of these cases have like ended affects how you look at people of color and different races? Because you told me a story once. You said you were at a stoplight. You know where I'm going with this? You were at a stoplight and a white dude got out his car real quick to get something from the trunk or something, and you didn't think none of it. Then like a couple weeks later, a black dude came out with dreads and shit, got out the car, and you were kind of more like, what the fuck is this dude doing?
Yeah, because
you know,
it's one of those. I think I heard a story or something that was it was like, if a white man, if a bald head tattooed white man is walking towards me, I'm across the street.
Right.
And if I see 3 black men walking towards me, I'm across the street. Like, fear is fear.
Right.
It don't really matter what someone looks like. So it's kind of one of those, if you get in the elevator with a woman and she clutches her purse and stands off to the side, it's like,
damn, bitch.
Like, I ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just in here. So, but again, I have those same. I've been around an environment where, again, you don't trust anybody. Like, you don't know who's who.
Right.
So,
because I know I make fun of Stockton, but you come from you come from the hood.
It's real. I mean,
so that's what I'm saying.
It's
like,
real. Yeah. Like,
your mindset was different than mine in a lot of aspects when it comes to.
It's just one of those. You got to be alert of everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I had those times where I first met you and we driving in the car and then you played the song. I'm just trying to feel your vibe out. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's not so much that I'm afraid of people and what they look like. I don't know what you're going through that day.
Right.
So I don't know if you may try me because you may look like, okay, he a little frail. I think I can test him. Yeah. But in my mind, it's like, don't do that. don't do that.
Yeah.
Because this is my mindset when I heard 2 Chainz talk about it on the Breakfast Club about his robbery or attempted robbery or whatever, and then shooting in Frisco. He was like, in my hotel room, I got clothes on the bed. My sheets is, pushed back. My TV still on. I got a blunt. I'm gonna make it home. Like, I gotta get home.
Right.
So ever since I heard that interview, it was like, I'm gonna make it home one way or another. Like, so don't do that because I'm gonna make it home. But again,
there's a lot of people who don't think like that or care if they make it home.
Nah, I'm gonna make it home.
Yeah.
Just like the situation when I got robbed at work. Like, my last delivery, but then all of a sudden 4 people come out.
Do you want to tell that story in here?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it, why not? I'm work for Domino's Pizza. So
in SAC?
Yeah. So maybe 4 hours prior to the shift ending, we kept getting phone calls and they was trying to order. First the order was like $80. Then they dropped it down to $70. Then it was like $60. So anything over $50 you have to pay with a credit card. So it's my last run. So I thought I was done. So I put all my money inside. And so I look and she like, you got one more run. But I look at the total. It was like $48.25. I was like, all right, didn't think nothing of it. But the person that took the order was off. He was getting off. So he was in a rush. So he didn't let me know, hey, these people had, called previously before, just be on alert. So I take it. So when I turn, the street is very dark, and it's like it's like an aloe vera plant. But the plant, it's not just a little aloe vera plant. It's like a big, like a rose bush type aloe vera plant. So I turn. So it's kind of weird. The house, it didn't have a garage. It had like a overhanging.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know how you say it, but basically it was like it looked like a port basically, and then the front door is under the port. I thought the front door was off to the side. So I'm looking. I'm trying to figure out where the front door is. And so I just heard somebody go, oh, pizza man over here. So I'm not, not thinking nothing of it.
Yeah.
But I walk in the street. You never walk in the grass. So I walk in the street. I veer off. And I just see 4 dudes come out. I'm like, that's the first thing I thought. Like,
you already knew what time
I already knew what time it was because it was late at night. It only takes one person to grab some food. But I see 4 dudes. So I'm like, fuck. And so
what happened after that?
I just see a shiny object, and I'm like,
what'd he say?
He was like, don't yell. That's the first thing he said. He said, do not yell. He said, you yell, I'm going to squeeze this motherfucker. I was like, bro, just chill, bro.
You still had the pizza in your hand?
Yeah, I still had it in my hand. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? So I do a quick calculation. So I see one dude in the middle of the street. Then I see another dude kind of like at the corner. So one dude is looking to see if cars is coming. Then another dude is at the corner. And then you got one dude with the gun, and then you got a little fat chubby dude.
Who's gonna eat the pizza?
Who's gonna get the food? So I put the food on my car, and so then he like lay down. I'm like, so then I lay down, but then he like take everything out your pocket. And so I had $22. I had some Bliss Text. I had a pen, and I had something else. So my phone is in the car. I think my wallet is in the car. My music is playing a little bit, but it's late at night, so it's turned down. But again, my car is running. The door is open. Like, so I just remember hearing dude go, get the car. I'm like, nah, not my car. I just immediately, as soon as he go, get the car, I said, nah, not my car. So I noticed he had the gun pointed at me, but I noticed when I was like, nah, not the car, he put it down. So I was like, he ain't about that life. That's the first thing I'm thinking.
And
I'm
now
like,
you mad?
Now I'm mad, though, because I'm like, bruh, just go toes with me right now, bro. I'll wear your little ass out. That's the first thing I was thinking. And at the time, I was working out, too, like, consistently. So I was like, man, just go toes. So they took the whole bag. They didn't even take the food. They took the whole bag. So I remember, too, it was 2 large pizzas. It was a 14-piece hot wing, and it was a Coke. $48. But it's 4 people.
Yeah.
But you getting 4 slices a person and 2 wings a person and a little 4 ounces drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, and $22. So I don't know if he thought he was gonna get a lot from me, but it was just $22. But again, it was smart because it was at the end of the night.
So he was thinking you're gonna have mad tip money.
But again, I put everything inside because I thought I was done for the night. I thought I was just getting ready to clean up. And so they take off.
So they probably must have done this shit more than once.
So I'm finished. So they take off across the street. And then he still got the gun pointed at me, but then he run across the street. So what they did was there was some apartments across the street from this house, so they used that house but was staying at the apartments. So they do that. I go back to the store and I just like, I got robbed, and she kind of laughed like, what, really? I'm like, I don't got no bag. You see a bag? Like, she like, really? Like, you want to call the police? And the first thing I was thinking was like, I just want to go home to my dog.
Yeah.
Like, my dog is literally waiting on me to come through this door so we can go on our night walk. Like, she's waiting, and that's at that mindset. I just want to get home. So who you live with kind of dictates your feelings, because I didn't think, I want to get home to my mom. It was like, I want to get home to my dog. And so what did you just ask me?
You think they've done that shit more than once?
So maybe like 3 days later, because this is my thinking. If I call the police and they get locked up for a couple days or a week, they know what I look like. They know my car. They know my color of my car.
And where you work.
And where I work. In the area. So all you got to do is just stay in the area a little bit. Or you could do it again and be like, let's see if he come again. We're going to beat his ass. So my thinking was.
Or just pull up to where you work.
Right. So my thinking was just let them take the $22, get the food. They're going to void out this order. You still got your life. You still got your car, your phone, your wallet. Nothing was stolen. Well, obviously, I threw them $22. That's not really,
right.
They didn't go through my pockets. They didn't pistol whip me. They didn't do nothing. So I was like, you know what? Why call the police, have them retaliate, and then more bad things happen, or I can just take it as a L.
Well, if anything, even if you call the police, they probably ain't even gonna get these dudes.
So I had seen an officer maybe like 3 days later, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just say something. And so I told him. So he wrote it down. And then what he told me, he was like, well, at the time, because the robbery wasn't in progress, we wouldn't have been able to do anything.
I heard if you want the cops to come, the fastest to come, you say there's an armed robbery in progress. If you say that on the phone,
that's smart.
They will pull up they have like 90 seconds to get to your pad. Some super fast shit like that. And then you pull up, I'm fucking locked out the house. But, they would be mad as shit.
But it's crazy because I literally watched them run across the street. And this is how much of I don't know, maybe it's where I was raised or whatever. So when I drove, I didn't make a U-turn, because if I would have made a U-turn, it would have been like directly across the street from the apartment. So I went around the corner and then came back around just to see if they were still outside. Now, I don't know what I would have done, but I just wanted to see where they was running to.
Right.
Now, I do believe I know where they were running to. But again, I'm by myself. So the first thing I do is, when I get back to the store and I calm down, I get to cleaning. Now I'm mad now, because it's like, bro, you pointed a gun at me. Like, you could have did anything. Now I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Now my blood is flowing. So first it go from retreat mode to like, wait a minute, mother.
And now you're rethinking it, and you're like, man, this dude was a puss.
You got to see me. You got a gun, fam. You could have, you know what I'm saying? So then I called my coworker. I was like, hey, bro, you took this order? Did anything suspicious? He was like, oh, man, they did call, hours before, and I didn't even think nothing my fault. What happened? Then he like, you want to ride on? I'm like, bro, I could be dead right now. Like, you talking about you want to slide? So a part of me was thinking, did my coworker set me up? Because if you get robbed, it could have went way worse. Right. But then he could have told them, look, this is my coworker. I like him. Just take the food. Because I tell everybody, you can take whatever you want to take. Just don't take my life.
Right.
I can get everything that you possibly going to take. I can get that back.
Especially over $22 in a box of pizza.
Like $22. 4 people. Yeah. You ain't doing nothing with $22. So to answer your question, I know I get tracked. When I finally told the officer what happened, he was like, yeah, delivery are one of the worst jobs to have, because you guys can't protect yourself. And we can, but like you say, if I do something to them, I'm probably going to get locked up.
Yeah.
And
fired and all that.
Because I'm not even supposed to have no weapon.
Right.
I'm not even supposed to have a pocket knife.
Right.
But that's why I got upset, because I'm like, bro, just go to toes. Just see me from the shoulders.
Yeah.
So
that's how it is. My dad, he delivers, truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
They're not allowed to carry none either, and they got dudes trying to steal shit off
like you said, was it 7-Eleven or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. When dude got knocked out.
Yeah.
So after I told the officer that, maybe like 2 weeks later, they said these people maybe are doing things from LA, Modesto, I think Ceres, and then they hit Sacramento. And the reason why I was happy to report what happened is because they said they beat an old man almost to death. They pistol whipped me.
Damn.
And the reason why they feel like these same people had did it is because they seen 4 people on the camera, and then the description of the weapon that I gave them. Because I just remember it was just like a shiny silver gun. It kind of looked like you remember 007?
Yeah.
That Magnum or something
Yeah,
fired. It kind of looked like
That's
that.
what it looked like.
So yeah, so when I gave them that description,
So they just going up and down
they was just going
the
up and
valley,
down. Yeah.
just robbing
so
delivery pizza boys.
When the investigator called me, he was like, "We think we have them. We know where they're at, and we're gonna go find them and stuff." So they never told me if anybody was arrested, but I do believe I helped them solve a crime spree.
Right.
So
That's crazy, bro.
so yeah, just a little robbery. But again, my mindset is I'm gonna make it home.
Right.
So I try not to put myself in those situations because plenty of people are out having fun at the club and not thinking nothing of it and don't make it home. So I just try to,
So that was the only time that's happened to you, or like one like
robbery.
That was the craziest
Yeah,
time?
that was having a gun pointed at me. That was different.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I've been in situations to where I could take someone else's life and get away with it. Like really, I feel like I would have got away with it. But again, I feel like it'd eat at me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I want to make it home, but I feel like I take somebody's life, I'm always going to be looking over my shoulder.
Right.
Because I think there's even a hip-hop guy that told on himself like 20 years later. And
Well, there's a lot of people who do that. Like, they got away with it. Then you're like, man, you're an idiot. You just went and told on yourself. But who knows what they've been dealing with
all that time, man. Because
every day.
it eat at you. I mean, you can hit somebody's car and think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might see somebody's car and didn't stop. You know, you're supposed to write a note if you hit them in the parking lot. But taking somebody's life, like, you just got to think. If you take somebody's life and leave them out in the street, who wants to find a family member like that?
Right.
Or get the news, like a knock on the door, hey, such and such is deceased. Nobody want that phone call, you know? So I try not to put myself in those situations. But that definitely having a gun pointed at you, that does something to your psyche, bro. Just
over some pizza. And
over some food. But, the first thing I was thinking was like, bro, I can help you get hired here. You going to rob me?
Right.
You can make more money working than actually robbing somebody.
Yeah.
Like, how long is that going to last? But,
people choose that life. Bro.
Robbing season. Like, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, robbing season.
I think that's the show Atlanta.
Yeah,
that's
it was an episode. Right, that's real.
It's robbing
That's
season.
real, man. That's real.
Yeah, man.
And to your point, those were 4 black people, like you say. So would I have felt better going or getting closer if they would be like, oh, pizza over here? Because I've had that where they'd be like, oh, no, house over here. And then, go to it. We exchange the money and food and I go. So, but that was just a tough situation. So
You like your job, though?
I love it.
Dude, I had the pizza dude come up. Because my thing is, like, if I go to Target or Walmart or anywhere and they're ringing me up, I go, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I go, you working hard? That's like my way in to talk,
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, oh, yeah, or I just got here, whatever. Dude, I had the pizza dude come up. I'm like, what's going on, bro? He's like, what's up? I was like, you working hard? He's like, nope. I was like, damn, all right.
Because it's one of the most chill jobs that you can have. You don't have to bust tables.
Right.
You don't have to try to carry a bunch of drinks on a, what is that? Not a platter, but.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to carry a bunch of drinks. All you got to do is get the food and drop it off. And I'm a people person. When people are hungry, they're excited to eat. So when they get that knock on the door, they light up. Oh, yes, the food here.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good because I know it's fresh and hot. I might get a tip, I might not, but I know I made your day.
Right.
So in a way, if I see 20 to 25 people a day, I made 20 to 25 people.
Made their day.
I made their day.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel good.
Right.
So sometimes I do make the food, but most of the time I'm just dropping it off, and it's nothing better than seeing little kids come up and, oh, pizza man, and sometimes they give me a handshake. Obviously, with what's going on, there's
You're a
no
damn superhero.
interacting. Yeah, I am. You know what I'm saying? And that makes me feel good, and especially sometimes my hair is long, and I might have my face covered, or I might just look at them and be like, what's up? And then they go behind their parent, all shy. Or this is my favorite thing. Most people don't want their dogs interacting with you.
Right.
Now, I don't know if dogs can feel my spirit or if they can smell my dogs, but they just come up and lick me and be wagging their tail, and their owner be like, they want to say, get away from him. Now, I don't take it as a race thing, like get away from that black guy. But I did have that happen the other day. Like this lady was just kind of looking at me, and her dog was wagging her tail and kind of jumped on me. But I'm not afraid of dogs. Like, oh, what's up? But then when I put my hand down, then it was like, oh, get in here. It's like, you gonna let him jump on me? But then when I put my hand down, so he can sniff it, it's like, so that makes me funny. That makes me laugh just seeing those type of interactions. But man, it's just dope to just see, you know, people be open, and it's like, I'm a stranger. Right. But because I got a shirt on and it's food, you let me in. You know what I'm saying? But if I knock on the door, you'd be like,
hell no.
Hell no. You know what I'm saying?
I'm calling the cops.
We don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nothing. So, but yeah, I love my job. You know, I love people. So that makes me feel good to interact. So
you're still working right now?
Yeah.
You still got like regular hours, or they cut you back?
No. Even more. But they are hiring more people. But you know, my manager, she enjoys my work and stuff. So.
Right. How's your family doing during this pandemic?
My mom, she works at Amazon.
They weren't they talking about weren't they trying to like get better pay or better? So it's like a
$2 raise. For some reason, some grocery stores got a $2 raise.
Yes, so, I know Save Mart did. Even the people who worked in the warehouse, they don't even deal with people. They got a $2 raise.
So I'm like, well, who's deciding who gets the $2 raise and who don't? But I think
it's up to the business
CEO. It's up to the CEO to do that. And
ours was like,
nah. So, and then my sister, she's out of school. She been out of school, and she just staying up late. Bruh, I come in the house now, I just look at her like, you still up? Yeah. So it's just one of those. She just up. So during this time, it just makes me realize, like, for one, I appreciate my home life, because I could be living with
you already a homebody.
Yeah, but I could be living with some assholes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Just imagine if you don't like your housemates or anything. It's like, bro, I want to go home. And it's like, this is your home, and you can't escape it. So I appreciate where I live and who I live with. But, I mean, for the most part, I've been pretty fortunate. I don't have any horror stories from college about roommates or housemates. I don't have any negative thing to say about you, Jake, or Rick. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it makes me feel good.
That's why I'm glad we still stay in touch and shit, you know, here and there.
Yeah, I appreciate my journey to this point. So having this virus situation, it's like a lot of people are either not working or not living with someone that they want to live with. And I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a baby mom. I don't have any kids, so I don't have a baby mama that's stressing me out.
Right.
Like, I don't have child support payments. Like, so to me, a lot of people said the pregnancy rate is going to go up and
or the divorce rate. Yeah.
I look at it the opposite, so it's twofold. Either you're going to really reconnect, because this is how I look at the time. It's not a reconnect. It's just a reset.
Right.
I believe this is the first time in history to where people are being paid to stay home. They may not be making as much money, but this is a time to relax.
Right.
I read something that depression is down. The stress levels are down.
Yeah, I read that too. Like, people who have like high anxiety, high depression, it's actually, they've been feeling better. And so
that's crazy.
I just saw that yesterday.
I think it's going to shift the landscape of, like, you got to remember, mental health has been a topic of conversation for like the past year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
So the way these jobs are situated, I think it's going to shift people's focus about what type of job they need. And the fact that some people did get laid off, unfortunately. Some people still have their jobs. When they go back, they may realize this isn't for me.
Right.
Because you got to think, a lot of people got into work just because they needed that money. So now this may be a time to go, you know what? I got time to focus on a career. They have like free online classes, you know, or pay, you know, $50 a month just to get your skills developed and go from there. So I think this time should be used graciously. Like, I mean, you've been doing this podcasting thing, but a lot of people could just podcast from home, and they may realize, like, you know what? I think I can do this. I don't want to go to work.
Right. And I talked to my buddy Jake, because he's writing a script for that little movie, and he's not working as much. Well, I don't know, but a lot of shit's closed down. He's not really doing much.
But he's had a lot of time to work on the script, though.
Doesn't have an excuse to go out and stuff, and
focus in.
Right. So for people who want to do that or take up on a hobby, or some who didn't have time to do it, or that was your excuse, I mean, you only got an excuse now, you know. So if you really wanted to do that, you could. Now's the time to, you know,
so I would ask,
buckle down and do that.
Is he able to to do the script well, or is his creativity not as high because he's not going out seeing people?
I think for him, I haven't really asked him his process, but I would think that for Jake, because he does work, and he goes out on the weekend, not every weekend, but I think for him, because he's real, like some days he's just like, man, I just want to go out, just want to go party.
You got to get that off. You got to get that creativity and that energy off.
But he also at the same time, like, he watches like a lot of movies and stuff and like gets inspiration.
Yeah, that inspiration. The movies that do it.
Yeah, and he told me to watch this movie. It's called White Boy Rick. It has Matthew McConaughey in it.
I love him.
It came out in 20.
That's him in The Lincoln Lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Fire movie.
Yeah, I got it on DVD.
I have bought that too from Amazon. Yeah. Great movie.
He told me to watch it because he said that movie had like really inspired him and like the landscape of it and how it was. So I watched it yesterday and I was like, wow. But like, and he told me he just finished the script on Sunday or last night actually on Monday. So he's pretty
excited about that.
Yeah, he's excited. I'm excited too because I want to like read it and like because I'm gonna be in it and whatever. I want to like give my best effort. You know.
I think my thing now is like you said, he did finish the script. How do you get it out? Is networking hard now? That's my thing now because
I think networking's the easiest that it's ever been with social media.
Because of the apps, huh?
You're right. You don't have to you don't have to leave your home, bro. You don't have to leave your home to connect with millions of people.
That's true.
There's ways to do it. There's strategies to do it. A lot of people like to troll and do stupid shit.
Yeah, see, that's the hard part, trying to filter through that.
Right.
Because he can go to a producer and be like, hey, I have this script, let's work. The producer gonna know he's serious.
Right.
But then how do you know someone is serious if they
right. But I think he wants to film it himself. He wants to direct it.
Self-made.
Yeah.
Self-made. I like
self-made.
it. Self-made.
Because he's not in it. He doesn't want to be in it. He wants to direct it, and he has this vision or whatever, and then he has a few characters, a few people he wants to use. Mm-hmm. So like, the fact that he did that, the fact that he wrote a 20-page script,
that's big.
Yeah,
he should be celebrated as you are right now. He should feel good about that.
And I was super excited for him. I'm like, dude, and that's why I told him like, hey, as soon as you can, bro, I want to read it because the fact that he gone this far, went this far, like I want to give him my best effort.
Right.
To like help him make his vision come true and like
especially him, you need that support.
Right.
That's how a lot of support get going. Right. Is your closest people.
Yeah, and he also like I would bounce my ideas like stuff like this off of him and like my clothing and he was the main outlet. Like when I was at work, he'd be up like super late at night and shit still, and like I would text him and like we would just talk about things because I'd be feeling real inspired at work, especially when I'm there and I'm like. Fuck,
it's one of those you're at work but you're not at work.
Exactly.
So I'm
getting paid to like creatively think. That's honestly how I look at it.
That's the thing about work though too. Sometimes
and my job allows that.
You can be at work, but then when you get off work, it goes away because you might be tired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's why I do love this time because you don't have any excuses right now. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to restaurants. You're not spending money. You're not having that energy to release. But we don't have a lockdown order. It's just stay at home.
Right.
You can still go outside. You still get vitamin D. You still can go get, go in the backyard. You still can see things and people. You just obviously.
And you can still go for a drive.
Right. Absolutely.
Really,
drive. Them late night drives, the therapy sessions, So
I saw a tweet. Some dude was like, damn, had to go for a 30-minute drive on GTA to clear my mind.
How many retweets did it have?
A lot.
Oh, man, that's golden. That's golden. Oh, I love that one. That was funny. That was dope. That was dope.
But
do you think more video games are being played?
Hell yeah. Well, when it first started, everyone was not going like staying home. Xbox, their fucking servers went down. I don't know if they had a spike and
they definitely had a spike because it's to get the servers to crash. That means everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did Fortnite crash?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really play Fortnite, but yeah, that's.
But I was gonna say something else too. Oh, well, speaking of time, man, like I'm not the one to like flex or talk shit or none of that. But I went to school there was a point where I was going to school full time, working full time, 40 hours minimum a week. Working on my clothing brand, thinking of a podcast every time I get off work. Like I was doing both of those, like working and going to school and finding time to do something on the side that I truly believed in. So if you really want to do something like that, like there's really no excuse, man. Like you could get it done. You know, you could get it done. But because I remember the saying, you know, you're either gonna work or you're gonna go to school. And I was like, man, I want to do both. And not only that, I was like, I want to do something. I want to create something. I want to like make something out of nothing. And I found time to do that, you know.
So you would say you enjoy the startup.
I love the grind, bro. Like to the death of me. I don't know what I would do if I made it.
I was gonna ask you that.
I would become
getting
sad.
Ready to say that. Do you think you're gonna enjoy the finished product?
I would honestly I think I would get a little depressed. I'd get sad because this is stupid, but like when I play a video game that I'm invested in, like an Assassin's Creed game or some shit, it's really long and it's a grind, and they do that on purpose. You have to like put in like days of in-game play,
sometimes months.
Yeah, I would
if you're not finishing it, but yeah.
Right, so I would do that, and then I'd finish, and I was so invested in the story and in the character, I would finish, and I would be like, fuck, man, what the fuck am I going to do now, you know? Or like when you binge watch a show on Netflix. Same feeling, bro.
Yep.
Because that grind of like going through it and being a part of it is the best feeling to me that there is. Not being on the top, because I will never forget my grandpa told me in high school when I was just killing everyone in track and I was fucking around with my grandpa. Grandpa, I'm the best. I ain't gonna beat me. And he goes, well, you know, once you're at top, there's nowhere else to go but down. And for that reason, that just stuck with me. So
it's true.
For me, it's like you're right. So even if your goal is to get to the top, man, enjoy the steps there, because that's where it's at, man. That's where you're gonna have the most fun. For me, that's
one of the reasons why, you know, I appreciate Nip, because his thing is called the marathon.
Yeah,
marathons, they really don't have no endings.
Nope.
So just to go to your point, if you would think that something doesn't have an ending, you're just gonna keep going.
Right.
You're gonna keep going. Obviously, you're gonna, you know, steady make progressions, but to think that something has an ending, that makes you sad. It makes you depressed. But when you go, man, where the ending at? I don't know where it's at. You just want to keep going and going and getting better. So
yeah, I think about that with life too. It's very short in the perspective of like life itself.
Right.
And that's gonna end for everyone, and that bothers me sometimes. I try not to let it bother me, but I think during times where like I'm not grateful, or I could have done something today but I didn't, I was being lazy, it's like, dude, that's just one day that you could have did something that I didn't do, and I'll never get it back.
Right. Because
the one thing you can never stop or manipulate is time, bro. You know, is your time.
So I had got this screenshot from Ricky. It says something like we have 86,420 seconds in a day or something like that. So if someone, or it said, the quote was like, if you have $86,420 and someone took $10, would you do all you can to get that $10 back, or would you just like let it go?
Just probably let it go.
And so it was saying we have 86,420 seconds in a day. Don't get upset and throw off the whole day over those 10 seconds. You got to get that back. What I was thinking about yesterday, is there a time to gain more seconds by being happy, or do you slow it down?
So that's a great question, bro. That's a great question, because I think it's part of living in the moment.
And that's where I'm at. That's exactly where I'm at. And I think that's where you're at now. And I think this is where the world is. We have to learn how to live in the moment.
But I can honestly say I came to that realization a couple years ago when, dude, I went to Taco Bell by myself on like a Wednesday at like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I just sat there. Bro, I work at night, bro.
I thought you was going to say, you got breakfast or something?
I just had like a quesadilla.
Oh, okay.
You know, but I was sitting there, bro. Dude, I was sitting there, and I was like listening to the music that was playing. Like I could hear the people working. I can hear other chatter. And I'm watching cars go by. And like I was in that moment, just enjoying myself, enjoying like life itself. It was very peaceful, bro. And like, I was like, man, that was awesome, dude. Like, and I just had fun, bro. And I do that all the time. Like on Fridays are my days. It sucks now, but like I'd get off work, I'd take a nap till about noon, get up, get dressed, go to Round Table, get some beer and pizza by myself and just sit there and just enjoy that and enjoy that.
Right.
Or even sometimes I go to the bar early and just chill there and just drink a beer, whatever. But I do those things by myself, and I have to do that.
You're enjoying your space and your serenity. I like to say serenity. Yeah. You're enjoying that peaceful time. A lot of people don't know what that feels like.
Right.
A lot of people chasing that feeling. A lot of people, unfortunately, is having sex with multiple people trying to make up for that feeling. Instead, it's like, I am my own feeling.
That's
I know
where you
how
get
to
it.
have that not self-worth, but I know how to accumulate that peacefulness.
Right.
To where when I go out in the world, I can just be chill.
Right.
I can vibe.
Yeah.
So to go back, divorce rates may go up, but I think a lot of people is realizing like, no, I really do love this person.
Yeah.
I haven't spent much time with them.
Yeah.
Or it's, I don't really like your ass. I think we need to separate because I don't want to live the rest of my life like that. Because you got to think.
Well, I think a lot of people live comfortably, and you get in a groove.
You get in a group. It's just like finding a job that you making money, but you're not really happy. You might find somebody that make you happy a little bit, but it's like, you know what, I can tolerate you. Some people are in a relationship for the business aspect. Some people can run a business well. They can money manage well, but they may not love well. So it's like, I can accept you, you know.
Right.
But we got one life. Why not try to get it all?
Right.
I'm greedy. Let's get it all.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna laugh together. We're gonna cry together. We're gonna travel together. Let's try to get it all.
Let's not settle.
Let's not
because settle. Because as much as it's a marathon, a relationship is a marathon, there is an end point to your life. So why are you gonna settle?
And how would you want to look back on it? Some of these people are catching this unfortunate virus, and some of these people are dying, and when they look back on their life, are they going, I lived it to the fullest, or it's like, I should have done better?
Right.
You know, because I seen this lady, she was like, I think she was either 88 or 98, and the doctor was trying to decide to save her, the baby, and the article said the lady was like, I live a full life.
Yeah, she was in her 90s, and she said to give the ventilator to the younger person.
What strength, first off, you facing death, and you go,
I don't know what would have went through her mind, because I always feel like I want to keep living.
Absolutely.
But she was
I'm
just
ready to go.
She just accepted it, bro. Like, she's like, I'm happy.
I had a full life. Like,
and I don't no idea how that feels.
So the one thing that the article didn't say, I don't know if she had a husband or not, but if she was a single woman or whatever,
maybe she wanted to go see him, you know?
Yeah, she lived a good life. It's like, bro, I'm good. Like, let these kids in the future get to have their future. So let's just say if you didn't do what you're supposed to do while you're here, it's like, nah, let somebody else die. I'm 90 plus. I still got some time. You may have time, but what did you do with that time?
I had a buddy like, man, fuck that. I'm living to 108, so let me get that 18 years. I was like, what do you think about it? It's kind of a long time.
It is, man. It is. So I just think a lot of people are going to realize I can do more with my time.
Right.
Because they have a lot more time. I feel bad for the people that are literally soaking because they don't know what to do, because they really haven't done anything before this time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, I think it's just a reset for the whole world to see what's going on, to see how they should move and go from there. Friendships are going to be strengthened, you know.
So there's one more thing I want to talk about real quick before we're done, but it kind of goes off of that, which is like, when you ever ask someone, like, what means the most to you in this life? Like, what means the most to you?
I think it's situational, but yes, I have asked.
Right. So, like, I was thinking about it. I feel like it changes, like, over the years.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to change. So I think that's the wrong question. I think the question is, like, what has life meant to you? Because you can look back. You can't change that. You know what I'm saying? Because especially in a time like this, when a week from now I could get sick and be on my deathbed. So what has life meant to me up to this point versus what does it mean to you now? I think that's important to think about. I think it helps me move forward, because I'm always like, my attitude changes every other day, you know. So you ask me what it means to me today versus, 2 weeks from now, it could be different off the top of my head.
True.
You know.
But that's where that marathon attitude comes from, because again, you may not feel the greatest to do a podcast today, but you know, okay, I got an episode coming up, let me get to it.
Right.
So you kind of are able to get your mind mentally wrapped up in getting going again. So but that is important. Meant and means. I like the way you put that. That is important.
But But yeah, man, thanks for coming by, brother.
Most definitely.
Dude, I wanted to have this serious conversation with X. Me and X, we used to talk. Dude, we would talk for 2, 3, 4 hours.
Just be up.
Just
talking.
talking.
We got class in the morning.
Yeah, but I feel like that was what really established our relationship or our friendship was just the conversation of us being able to be honest with each other about shit. And
I'm
like,
not afraid to
learning
have
from
any
each other.
conversation. Like I don't feel no conversations is hard. So
Right.
I enjoy conversations because you never know where they're gonna take it. You never know where the perspective is you're gonna gain. So yeah, conversations are great.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the Mulberry Podcast, episode 10. We'll see you guys next time.